Among all the saints of the Catholic Church, few inspire the same awe and mystery as Padre Pio, the humble Capuchin priest who carried the wounds of Christ, read souls, fought demons, and interceded for thousands who came to him in search of miracles. But behind all the stories of healing and supernatural encounters, there is one mystery Padre Pio spoke about more passionately than almost any other. What happens when we pray for the dead? Most people think of death as a closed door, the end of all responsibility, all choices, all hope. But Padre Pio saw something entirely different. He insisted that our prayers, no matter how small or whispered, can reach into places we could never imagine. He often said, "The souls in purgatory can do nothing for themselves, but we can and we must." According to him, every prayer offered for the departed becomes an act of rescue, a rope lowered into the darkness, pulling a suffering soul closer to God's light. And what Padre Pio witnessed in his visions revealed a truth so comforting, yet so profound that it continues to shake believers to this day. This is the story of what he saw. The priest who could see beyond the veil. Padre Pio was born Francesco Forgione in 1887 in Pietrelcina, a small town in Italy. From childhood, he had experiences no one could explain, conversations with his guardian angel, visions of Jesus and Mary, battles with demonic forces. As he grew older and entered the priesthood, these supernatural gifts only became stronger. He bore the stigmata, the wounds of Christ, for 50 years. He could read hearts during confession, revealing sins and secrets people had hidden, even from themselves. Doctors, skeptics, and even church authorities tried to understand him. But the truth was simple. Padre Pio lived in two worlds at once, and one of those worlds was the world of souls waiting to enter heaven. Padre Pio didn't just believe in purgatory, he saw it. He saw souls who appeared to him begging for prayer. He saw the suffering of purification, and most importantly, he saw what happens when the living decide to pray for the dead. The stranger in the friary, one of Padre Pio's famous encounters. One night, as Padre Pio prayed alone in his monastery cell, he heard footsteps echoing in the dim corridor. A man entered the room, tired, pale, with sorrow in his eyes. Padre Pio thought he was a real visitor and asked him how he had entered the friary at such a late hour. The man replied softly, "Father, I'm dead." He explained that he had died in a fire years earlier, right near the monastery. He had not been ready to meet God and was now in purgatory, waiting and suffering. He told Padre Pio, "One mass, just one mass said for my soul, would release me from this place." Padre Pio promised to offer mass for him the next morning, and before his eyes, the man's face shimmered with gratitude, then disappeared like smoke. Later, Padre Pio asked the monks if a fire had occurred nearby. They confirmed everything. The man had been real, and yet not alive. This experience convinced Padre Pio even more strongly that our prayers truly matter. That purgatory is not just a belief but a reality, where souls long for our intercession. Padre Pio saw prayers become light. Padre Pio often described prayer as a kind of spiritual fire, not a fire that burns, but a fire that purifies. He said that when we pray for the dead, something incredible happens. A glow of mercy rises around the soul, like dawn breaking through a thick night. He once said, "More souls are released from purgatory by the power of the rosary than by anything else." To him, every prayer, even a short Hail Mary, was like dropping a stone into a silent lake. The ripples moved outward, touching places we could not see, lifting souls higher and higher toward the gates of heaven. Padre Pio explained that purgatory is not a prison of punishment, but a place of mercy where souls are cleansed by the love of God. But they cannot pray for themselves anymore. Their voice has become quiet. Their hands cannot reach upward, so they wait for us. And those who are prayed for, Padre Pio said, often visit their benefactors, sometimes to express gratitude, sometimes to ask for more help, but always with hope. Padre Pio had a deep love for saying the names of the departed. He encouraged people to mention their loved ones in prayer, because he claimed that heaven responds to specific names. He said that when you whisper the name of a soul who has died, a movement happens in heaven, a stirring, a shift, a moment of mercy. Every name spoken, he insisted, is like a candle lit in the darkness. He believed that our prayers can reach beyond time itself. A soul who died years ago, decades ago, or even centuries ago, can still receive the grace of your prayer today. Eternity, he said, does not follow the same rules as earth. God sees all prayers, past, present, and future, at once. So when someone prays, "Lord, have mercy on the soul of my father," that prayer becomes real in the very moment that soul needs it most. This is why Padre Pio never allowed anyone to say that prayer is wasted. Padre Pio repeated those words constantly. No prayer is ever lost. He understood something many people forget. Prayers do not disappear. They are never ignored, never thrown away. Every prayer becomes a seed planted in eternity, and in God's timing every seed blooms, even the smallest ones. A whispered Hail Mary as you walk, a short prayer while washing dishes, a quiet remembrance during Mass, a candle lit for someone whose face you barely remember. Padre Pio said these small offerings can become rivers of mercy flowing into purgatory, cooling the flames of longing and washing souls clean. Padre Pio described moments when he saw souls rising from darkness into light, moments when prayers from the living had broken through spiritual walls and lifted a soul out of suffering. He said these transitions were filled with peace, music, and gratitude so intense it could only be divine. One of his spiritual sons once asked him, "Father, what happens when a soul finally enters heaven?" Padre Pio smiled and replied, "There is a joy that would blind you." He claimed that souls released from purgatory often passed by him in a blaze of glory, like sparks shooting upward. Some would bow in gratitude, others would simply appear for a moment, radiant and free, before vanishing into God's eternal embrace. And every one of them carried the same message. Thank you for praying for me. The beautiful secret of Padre Pio's teaching. What makes Padre Pio's insight so powerful is that it transforms our understanding of life and death. It reminds us that love does not end with the grave. It moves, breathes, grows, and reaches across the veil. Our world tells us that death is separation. And Padre Pio tells us that prayer is connection. Our world tells us that nothing can be done. Padre Pio tells us that everything can change through grace. Our world tells us the dead are gone. Padre Pio tells us they are waiting for us. Not in fear, not in sorrow, but in hope. Hope that we will remember them. Hope that we will speak their names. Hope that we will love them enough to pray. Padre Pio's visions reveal a truth that can transform every viewer watching our channel right now. No one is ever truly alone after death unless we choose to forget them. Our prayers are bridges. Our prayers are torches. Our prayers are acts of mercy that echo through eternity. And somewhere right now, according to Padre Pio's teachings, a soul in purgatory is waiting for someone, anyone, to remember them. Maybe that someone is you. So the next time you pray, whisper a name, light a candle, offer a rosary, say a small prayer for the forgotten dead. Because in the unseen world Padre Pio witnessed, your prayer might be the moment a soul rises from darkness into everlasting light. We hope that this video has been to your liking and has helped you understand how important your prayers are to the dead. And if you like it, don't forget to give a like, share it, and subscribe to our channel for more beautiful stories. And if you want to know more about interesting topics, leave us your comments and suggestions. Until next time.